I'm intrigued by this reformatting of in-season Hard Knocks because, Sully, it is not going to be about a single team, instead about an entire division. What do you think about that? And what would be your choice for best division in 2024 to cover?
I think it probably makes it a little bit more palatable for the teams that are actually being covered. Like, I'm sure you're still going to get a lot of, cameramen and all these people running through your locker room, and you're going to hate it regardless. But I do think that because they're covering 4 teams, it maybe makes for a little less invasive atmosphere. Again, probably just by a little bit, and any head coach is going to hate even just a little bit of invasiveness. But still, I do think that that's what at least HBO is trying to do, is curb all of these teams just saying, I hate being in this. It's such an annoyance. Intended. So I think that's probably why they're trying to do it. And also, I do think
also it's Max. It's Max now, please.
Right. Oh, sorry, Max. Excuse me.
But also, did you really not mean that curb joke with HBO?
I did. I actually just pulled that out of nowhere. So hey, maybe that's just somewhere back there.
Well, it made me enthusiastic.
Good. Good. I'm glad. But in terms of the division, I should say that I would probably target, if I were Max, it would be the NFC North. I think that division has so much intrigue this upcoming season all across the board. Chicago starting over with Caleb Williams. How's he doing during his rookie year? Number 1 overall pick. Obviously, they've revamped a lot of what they've done. Green Bay, storied franchise. They had a pop year in 2023. How's Jordan Love doing? How's Matt LaFleur doing? You go to Detroit, clearly the team of the darling last year. They're trying to get to a Super Bowl. And then you have the Minnesota Vikings trying to figure it out post Kirk Cousins. Who knows? Maybe there's a top 5 draft pick there as well. So I think there's a lot of storylines that you could watch, and it ranges from a team that could be bringing in a young quarterback to 2 possible playoff teams in the Packers and the Lions. I think that'd be fascinating.
I like it, Solly.
Yeah, it's good argument for the NFC North for sure.
Though, if I was the producer of Hard Knocks, would pick
answer I'm sure will surprise us.
A northern division, but not the NFC North. I would take the AFC North. For me, look, you start with the Steelers. Either you have Russell Wilson maybe reviving his career in Pittsburgh, or you have a QB controversy by the time this kicks off in November. If they stick the same timeline, you have Justin Fields maybe itching to get in there and start if Russell Wilson doesn't get things turned around. You have whatever the heck's going on at quarterback in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson trying to prove he's deserving of his contract, even though the Browns are out there signing every quarterback they can get their hands on with Jameis Winston and Tyler Huntley, and they still have Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So you're talking about 4 quarterbacks on the roster for whatever reason. The Bengals, obviously, Joe Burrow coming off the wrist injury. That is going to be a story if he's struggling to start the season. And then, of course, the Baltimore Ravens. So I think
you always forget the 4th team.
The AFC North. Well, they're the only team that doesn't have like a crazy situation.
I mean, you got like Lamar. I think the Ravens are always intriguing. Yeah.
They could be the number 1 seed for all we know. You know what I mean? They could be in that conversation. I will say, Breach, anytime we can get more Jameis Winston on TV, I'm in.
That's a good point. So. By the way, I would say what would be the team you would least like to see on? I think it's or the division. It's like I think it's probably the AFC East, maybe the NFC South.
I was gonna say NFC South, probably
AFC South. I'm just saying, like, I don't need any more Jets in my life.
Right.
The Dolphins are kind of intriguing, I guess, but it might be. I'll take all the Mike McDaniel I can get.
Patriots with the new coaching staff could be fascinating. The Bills could be fun. So boring, I feel like it's the NFC South has got to be an answer, right?
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
NFC South is probably the answer. I had to decide. I was deciding between 2. The NFC East was my initial thought because you have these revenge running. You have like Saquon Barkley playing the Giants twice. You have the whole Dak situation that we talked about. Philadelphia is always spicy. Commander's new coaching staff, and I was just like, I'm so sick. The NFC East has just beaten down like just constantly in our faces, just for like the last 30 years. And I don't need like a whole division thing about it. So instead, I'm going to go with the AFC West.
Ooh.
And the reason this is coach driven. I mean, Antonio Pierce is a fascinating guy to have like a camera on constantly, and he's the least fascinating coach in the entire division. You have the 2-time Super Bowl like back-to-back champion Andy Reid, the Chiefs going for a three-peat. You have the Taylor Swift factor, by the way. Like maybe they break up on Max. I mean, who knows? I mean, that's how you really drive the ratings. I mean, it's insane. Like the number of times this offseason and throughout the season too. But like, I would have people ask me about the NFL. Maybe they get engaged on Max. There you go, Harry. People ask me about the NFL, who like friends' wives. Or like one of my buddy's wife texted me and was like, "Can you get like our daughter wants to know if you can get Taylor Swift's autograph at the Super Bowl?" It's like, no, but that's awesome. Like the level of interest that Max could get by having Travis Kelce on this program is insane, and that doesn't even get to Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh. Like Jim Harbaugh in his first year with the Chargers. I mean, just incredible theater. He's a maniac. He doesn't mind being on television. And I think Sean Payton would probably prefer not to be on one of these things, but he also is an egomaniac. I mean, everybody's, they're all egomaniacs, but like they love to hear themselves talk. They love to, to be seen as like, turning things around. Like Sean Payton can use the entire series to kick Russ under the bus. I mean, I love this idea of the AFC West.
All the coaches, yeah.
Yeah, you would have you're not even talking about the quarterbacks too.
Mahomes and Herbert and like
Mahomes, Herbert, whatever,
Denver or Oakland or Las Vegas.
Whatever these other teams are going to do at quarterback, like I was saying earlier, you could conceivably have top 10 quarterbacks in that conversation as well. So you'd have like both ends of the spectrum. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh alone, just give him his own show.
I would watch an entire show just following the Harbaugh brothers around.
One thing real quick, the preseason version of Hard Knocks, they changed the criteria slightly.
Oh, they did?
It used to be if you had been in the playoffs in any of the past 2 seasons, you didn't have to be on the show. That's not a rule anymore.
Oh, they got rid of that?
That is not a rule. Now the rule is if you are participating in the in-season Hard Knocks show, obviously you don't have to be on the preseason one. And if you are scheduled to be on the following season in-season Hard Knocks show. So I'm guessing they're going to be planning these at least 2 years in advance. You don't have
so the NFL just said like, all right, everybody, you're done opting out because you fired your coach or because
the first year head coach rule is still in place.
Okay.
That's still in place. And then the third rule was if you have been on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years, you do not have to be on the show. That has now been cut down to 8 years. So but the playoff rules out. The only teams that do not have to do it are first-year head coaches, but that only applies to preseason Hard Knocks.
Well, I mean, and look, frankly, that makes sense if you're going to keep doing this because, like, you basically knock out like half the league.
There's only 3 options last year, and no one wanted to do it.
Yeah, exactly. No one, and the Jets were you're doing this. Your boy's dragging attention into his own house. You're doing this. You're getting the attention. All right, that'll do it for us. Great show as always. Big weekend coming up. I hope that when I see you guys on Monday, I am violently hungover and that NC State is headed to the Final Four. I won't feel bad. Don't worry.
Brinson, how much money should I bet on NC State to beat Marquette? Like everything? My child's college fund?
I would bet.
Show me some confidence, man.
I would either bet $74 or $83.
Okay.
I am fully anticipating it being a scene from Good Will Hunting where Breach and I are Ben Affleck and walk up to the door, knock on the door to wait for you to come in, and you're just not home. You're gone somewhere else. Had to go see about a girl, had to go see about an NC State Final Four team. I think that's probably the most likely scenario out of all this.
I hope that is a scenario. I mean, I'll just say this. If we win on Friday night, that means we're playing on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. I mean, I'm just full warning for Monday's show. It might be must-see television regardless. All right, that's it for us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, tell your friends about it. For Sully, for Breach, I'm Brinson. We'll see you guys later.